try and do something a bit different today. Can I go that way? No. Is that going to stay? Is it going to stay? I hope so. Oh, right. So we're just going to do some painting today. So I started a new channel. That's one of my old channels. Oh, hi Yvonne. How are you? I'm doing something a bit different today. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a bit of artwork. One of my old channels that I had, I've renamed it Ian. I think it's Art and Music with Ian. I've called it. It's basically a picture of me on there with a guitar. Total fluke that you've caught me. Yeah. Totally unannounced. I've just jumped on. I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna do a live and just see what happens. See if anybody wants to join in. But this piece of artwork has been sat on this easel for probably over a year now, and I'm not happy with it. And I've just left it. And then I've been watching loads of videos on TikTok of people doing artwork, and it's really kind of like inspired me a little bit to get back into my art a little bit. Now that I've got a bit more spare time, I want to start doing a bit more creativity. So I want to start doing a bit more music. I want to do more art. I want to grow this channel more as well. So, you know, if you're new here and you see this, and you know, then please do subscribe to the channel. Primarily, this channel is mainly a mix of Reiki, healing, that sort of stuff. But wow, that nine people watching. Wow, I never get 9 people watching when I'm when I'm doing like a Reiki video, but my volume's a bit low. Hang on. I don't know. No, that's mute. 2 seconds. The only thing with iPhones is you can't. I use my microphone, but you can't charge your phone and microphone at the same time. Love from India. Hi there. I hope you're well. Can you hear me better? Is that better? I've put my microphone in, so if that's better, do let me know for the sound. Loud, yeah. So I'm just gonna have to be careful now because actually, sorry, I'm farting about like the right old woman here, but hang on a minute. Had an idea. All right. I'm gonna put my wireless microphone in. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Does that work? Can you hear that okay? Let me know. Let me know if that's okay, sound-wise, because I don't know what it does. I don't know what it does really to the sound, but let me know if it's all good. All good, excellent. Right, okay, okay, and get back to what I was supposed to be doing now. Is the music too loud in the background, by the way? Let me know if it's too loud. If it is, I can turn it down. But yeah, so what am I doing? So this piece of artwork that I've had sat around for about a year or more. I painted this after I went for a walk with a friend of mine. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I want it to be right so people can hear me okay. So I'm glad somebody said, like, I'm glad you told me. So I did this piece of artwork after I went for a walk out into like the countryside in like the middle of Yorkshire somewhere, North Yorkshire, near Beedale. So if you're in the UK, Beedale, North Yorkshire. It's also near the Druids Temple in North Yorkshire, which is a really, really amazing place to go. So if you are near there, then go and have a look. But this was part of the walk, and it's called Colsterdale Tower. And it was a bit of a bitch to get to. It was a nightmare to get to. It was really, really high up this massive hill, and there was all of these ferns everywhere. Oh yeah. I put pictures on Facebook on that walk. Yeah. And I'm not happy with the ferns. That's what I'm not happy with. That's why That's why I want to change it. So that's why I've thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a piece of artwork. I'm going to edit it, and then just see what happens and go from there. So hopefully you can see everything okay. Yeah, but obviously, as you know, this channel's kind of primarily more about like Reiki and healing. And one of my other old YouTube channels that I've got, I've renamed it Art and Music with Ian. So head over there and have a look and subscribe if you want to, because I want to do more live stuff on that channel. Obviously, I'll do lives on this channel as well, but I want to do more art and music on that channel. But I can't really, I can't do a live on there as yet because I haven't got enough subscribers. You have to have like over 50 to do a live. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll just jump on here and do some stuff on here. So anyway, I hope everybody's okay. We've got 3 watching at the minute, but I hope you're all okay. And so yeah, so this is where you have to be kind of like brave. I'm glad you like the ferns. I'm not keen on them, so I'm going to get rid of them. But this is where you have to be like kind of a little bit brave and think like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to get rid of them? And art is a bit of like a metaphor for life, really. It's just like, if you're not happy with it, start again, and there's no harm in that. I have to get a bigger brush actually. One of my friends, actually, Yvonne, if you're still there, one of my friends was asking about my wood burning. You know, it did me with the person for Reiki, and they were asking where I got it from. And I said, oh, so a friend of mine made it for me. But I did say that you can go on Google, and you can download like an outline of a person, and if need be, you can laminate the picture if you need to. So what have you done today, Yvonne? What have you been up to? Let me know. Anyone else that's jumped on the live as well, let us know what you've been up to. I think there's only me and you in here at the minute. There was 9 before. So I'm just going to put a bit of colour down. I was thinking the one I made you will be out of date. Lazy day, raining all day. So how? All right, okay, yeah, housework. Yeah, I did a lot of housework this morning. It's got to be done, but I don't mind doing housework, especially when it needs to be done. I like just getting into the root of it and just doing it. I'm just going to cover them up for the time being. One of the good things about working with acrylics on canvas is you can just, if you're not happy with something, you just cover it up, start again. Or if it's quite thick what you've put down, you can just scrape it off and start again. And just do it in layers, really. Turned into one of them people that does lives. Your old Reiki Zen pick, I mean. Oh no, yeah. Well, they did say when I left that they did say that they were going to give me my discount when I popped in anywhere. They're just going to give us their discount and I can use it. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood. I must have made a good impression, eh? Right, so that's those ferns covered up. So now we need to make this bit look like bushes, and we're peering through the bushes. So this is where we need to have a bit think. This is where your imagination has to come into play a little bit, because a lot of this, like the tower itself, the sky, the grasses and everything down the bottom, they were all from like a photograph, whereas now I'm just working from just my imagination of what I think should be there and how it should look, or how I think it should look. So yeah, we just have to see what happens, really. Yeah, for anyone that's just joined, I can't because I've got my light on. I can't see how many's on at the minute. I think it says 3 at the minute. But this tower was on a walk that I did quite a few years ago in Yorkshire, and it was quite near the Druids Temple, which is the temple in North Yorkshire. And it looks like a stone. Well, it's a stone circle temple basically, but it's actually a folly. It's not. It hasn't been used in any way, not that we know of. Maybe it has. I don't know. But they do say that it's actually a folly and it's not real. It's just been built and created for the purposes of looking a certain way. I'm just going to put that light down a little bit because there's a bit of glare on. Yeah, there was 3 on. There's 1 on now. We're back to 1 again. Yeah, it was an interesting place, that Druid's Temple. It had a really unusual energy about it. Fascinating place. Like I say, I mean, they do say that it's not being used for any sort of purposes, but it felt rather bizarre, as though something had gone on there. But maybe that was part of the, I don't know. I do like going there. It's especially from where it is, because it's right in the middle of nowhere, and it's really, really peaceful and quiet. I like the quiet. I like being in nature. Bit too much black on there. I'm trying to just layer it up a little bit. So there was some ferns under there. And yeah, so I'm just trying to layer it up a bit and see what happens, see how it goes. But the lives as well, the lives are really, really did I meditate while I was there? No, I didn't. It was too busy. There was actually quite a few people around. But my friend who I went with, who was quite sensitive as well, he'd put his, like, was like this sort of, like, looked like a sacrificial altar sort of thing. And he put his head in there just to have a look around, and he said he heard a voice say, "Get out." So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what's transpired there, but they're quite interesting places, I think. But the place itself, the temple itself, it's Druid's Temple. It was, I think it was made or created around about 1200s ish. So it's been there for quite some time. So I'm trying to do I can't really do it with acrylics, but has anyone seen Bob Ross? I'm sure you must have seen or heard of Bob Ross with his art technique, that sort of like tapping with the brush. I'm trying to do a little bit of that. But the only thing is, with acrylics, they're not as thick as his paints, so you can't quite get uh, the same texture as what he can get with his paints. So you got to just kind of like just keep going with it and just see what happens. But the more you keep tapping, you're sort of picking more paint up from behind, and that sort of takes the brightness off as well. So it actually mixes on the canvas as you're using it. That's why I love using acrylics. They're just so versatile, so easy to use. So So we've got the darker colour at the bottom, the green up here. So I'm not going to start from the bottom where the darker colour is. I'm going to go from the top down because that's where the lighter colour is, to bring it down into the darkness of the bush. And just pick some colour up along the way to just create that feeling of depth and darkness in these bushes. And every now and again there might just be a little zing colour where it just pings out a little bit. Quite like this brush. I'm not sure what to call it. It's not a fill, but it's just like a square brush, but it's got a nice texture to it. And when I do a lot of these paintings as well, I tend to just use, apart from detailed work, I tend to use like one brush, like fairly thickish one like that. It's about 1/2 inch thick, something like that. Yeah, it's getting there. It's like it's just creating that sort of like depth and trying to get that perspective in there as well. So this side is now dried off a little bit. So this is going to be a little bit harder because it's not going to pick as much colour up as what I could on this side. But maybe if the sun's or the light's coming down this way, maybe this side's going to be a little bit brighter, make it stand out a little bit more. I don't know, we'll see. See what transpires. Like I said, I'm just doing stuff from my imagination, really. Because sometimes you can get trapped into using like a picture or a photo. But if you just go with your imagination, just what you see in your mind and what you think should be there, and then just try to formulate that into sticking it on a canvas. If I remember rightly, when we did walk here, it was quite wet and cold and quite barren, and it was late on in the year, so it's probably September-ish, so the finer weather was starting to go. Go with your intuition, always. If we were to say, like, what is intuition? You know, what I mean, I know, like, I talk about it on the channel, but you know, obviously it's your tuition that comes from within, the teacher from within, your intuition. And we all have various aspects that we kind of have elements of mastery in life. But where does it actually like come from? Because it's something deeper than a thought, isn't it? It's not like something that comes from a thought. It's something that comes from like a deeper realm in the being. And it's something that you just know. Yeah. There's 3 on. What do you think? What do you guys think that are watching? What is your intuition? Where does it come from? Do you think our intuition sort of helps us in various parts of life? Past life memory, yeah, possibly past life memory. Because I do say that about like your spirit guides as well, and your guidance from within, which is all connected to your intuition anyway. But they do say that you have um, guides that will help you at various stages of life and certain levels of mastery. So we all come into life with a gift, or many of us do anyway. And sometimes I think it takes a long time for people to find that gift as well, to find out like what their purpose is, why they're here. What, sometimes people stumble across things, don't they, without realizing, and then they think, oh my God, I found my calling at last after 40, 50, 60, 70 years sometimes as well. But yeah, past life memory, possibly, because we learn from all of these various incarnations that we've existed through. So very, very possibly. But what I was saying about this is the time of year that it was sort of getting towards autumny, so it was quite wet and boggy, and I was absolutely covered in mud and crap. But it was a good walk. It was a really, really good walk. I was knackered. I must have walked about 20 odd thousand steps, miles, 20 odd thousand miles, 20 odd thousand steps. But yeah, it was a fab walk, and I'd love to go back again at some point. There's no signal either, so I can't take you guys with me. Our guides who is with us for lifetimes, but others can come in to help out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they all have the various levels of like kind of expertise that that pop in to give us a hand when they think we need it. So let's got rid of the ferns. Now I need a bit of autumnally sort of colour. Was me the memory of maybe being there at the tower in a past life memory as you were painting. You've been there before. All right, okay. I wasn't. I thought you meant the intuition thing, but yeah, that's like from the imagination. Yeah, it's a good shout. So we need some brown. So if you want to make brown, if you don't know, use red and green. This pack of paints I've had for about 3 years, totally unused, sat in a cupboard. You like it better now than with the ferns. See, I told you. I told you I didn't want the ferns in there. I just couldn't. I just couldn't get. Yeah, I wanted to put like loads and loads of ferns in to create this sort of thing that I've got going now. But the thing is, the ferns are so like detailed and so intricate that I just couldn't. I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. So Yeah, it is about time I got them out to use them. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, they've been sat in the cupboard, like I say, years they've been sat in there for. So red and green makes brown. We've got kind of a ready, a little bit of yellow as well, maybe. On red. Yeah. I just want to give the impression of a bit of kind of um, like dead undergrowth. And I'll probably have to go over some of the yellow again. Just to brighten it up a little bit. But I think just putting that in like that, it just helps the perspective a little bit better than how it was before. Mm. Oh, hi, Sonia. Yeah, it's good. It's good for me to have some time just to chill, just to do what I want. Oh, Sonia, Yvonne, Purple Vonnie, that's in the chat now, is the lady, my friend, who did my wood burning. We were just talking about it before. She did my wood burning figure, for the distance Reiki that I use. That's who did it. That's my friend, Purple Vonnie, Yvonne. So say hello to each other. So what's everybody doing with the day? What's everybody up to today? Apart from watching me on here. Yvonne, you're having a chill day, right? I think you said before you're having a chill out day. It's raining up in Bonnie, Scotland. See, everybody making friends in the chat. That's nice, isn't it? Community. That's what it's all about. David's watching the football. The boys are snuggled up with you. Oh, the pup's not a fan of football either. Then does he shout at the? Does he shout with the football? Who's playing? What? Let's see that. Pretend that I care. Who? Who's playing? I know we've got four in now. Rangers. All right. Not a fan of David shouting. No, I can imagine. I don't see the fascination with football. To be fair, I really don't. I just don't get it. I just find it rather tedious and boring. But that's just me. Each to their own, I suppose. I'm just lifting a little bit of that darkness out, but still got that depth in there. I've got a little bit of different colour in there as well. Just trying to get a bit more kind of yellow, ochre, autumnally sort of colour in there as well. The thing about the lives on, he thinks he's 12. I don't like it either, but he loves it. Yeah, one of them things, I guess. What was I going to say there? Can't remember. Must have been a lie. That's the thing about. I was just about to say something. That's the thing about. Gone. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's the thing about when. So I'm doing the live on my phone. Normally I do lives from my laptop. And on the laptop, it asks you to. You can give it like a title, like you're live, but on the phone, it didn't seem to give me that option. I don't know why. But it's nice to just be able to go live on your phone with YouTube. Now, once you get over so many subscribers, you can do that. But you have to obviously build them up, which takes a long time. It's taken a long time of grueling work to get to where I am on YouTube now, and it's even then there's still a long way to go. But I'm nearly at my 4,000 watch hours, so I'll be getting monetized before long. Fingers crossed. That's kind of like the next big goal for YouTubers with content and whatever is to get to 4,000 hours watch time in 365 days, and you can get monetized. But yeah, it takes a lot of work, and you have to be quite mindful with your own energy as well, and not burn out with it. And also coming up with ideas as well for content. That's why I often ask on the social bit, on the community on YouTube, on my channel. I often ask, what do people want to see more of? What do they want to see less of? And got about 15 videos. You didn't know I was on? No, now that Yvonne, you both just kind of like just jumped on and found me. But yeah, I've got about 15 videos in the scheduled waiting to go out now. So I've got videos made up until something like the 6th of June. Because obviously I try to put content out every Monday and Friday. So at least about 2 videos a week, and then I'll do shorts in between. And the shorts just keep kind of like the channel active, really. Because if it sits for a while and doesn't do anything, it just gets pushed down into the dregs of everything else, and you don't get found until you start making consistent content again. It's a really tricky juggling act to get seen, and all your research you have to do into it as well, like keywords and all that sort of stuff. So I need Dollar, dollar, dollar is what I need. Hey, hey, I need. Oh, I wonder if I've got like a palette knife. Pop that on there a second. Back in a second. This might work. Not quite. Thought I might have worked better than that. No, right, I'm gonna have to do it the hard way. How was your hand today, Sonia? Was it your hand you were having bother with yesterday? Because you had your Reiki session, didn't you? And was it your hand? I can't remember what you said. Was it your hand you had bother with? This one's all dried up, I think. Oh no, there we go. A little bit in there. Hands, yeah, they're okay today. Drinking a lot of water. Good. It was weird that how you were like, you felt like it was just down to your wrists, and then you couldn't feel your hands. Like your hands felt numb. Really bizarre. Strange. Obviously, something was getting shifted on some level. Too much down there. Did a video on TikTok, and I don't think I put it on here. I don't put like the shorter reels as much on here. But I did a video on TikTok, and it's basically one of my like setting the room up videos that I normally put on social media. And a woman commented saying that she doesn't trust Reiki anymore because it made her ex evil. So I have actually made a video to go on to the channel, probably in a few weeks' time, because I had to kind of make her realize what was happening and trying to explain things that he was going through because of the Reiki. So the practitioners themselves, the Reiki practitioner that was working on them at the time, had said that he had like this black energy or dark energy around him, and he'd said that he'd seen all this blackness during the session. So straight away, obviously, people think black, they think like negative. And then she'd said that he wasn't the same after like 2 sessions of Reiki. So I said, look, at the end of the day, Reiki doesn't do any harm. I said, you got to also realize that sometimes what can happen in these healing stages is you can have like what's known as like a healing crisis, where you kind of like your ego and your shadow goes into kind of like turmoil, because you kind of like realize things that you need to work on internally, and it brings a lot of stuff up. And oh, I'm just gonna have a drink of tea. I forgot about that. And she said, "Oh, she said that's really, really great that you said that. It's given me a different perspective to look at it from." Because straight away she just thought of it all being like kind of like negative, and it's had this negative effect on him. But at the end of it, actually, what had happened, from what I could gather, again, it's all down to perception. But I had to meditate on this, and I had to speak to like kind of like my spirit team about it, because my ego straight away was wanting to answer her, and say, no, it's nothing to do with Reiki, But I had to like hold back, and just listen to myself and listen to my ego, and not my ego, listen to my guides, sorry, and let them sort of give me a reasonable reason. And it took like a few hours before I started feeling the energy and the messages to come through. And then when it was kind of explained, I was like, right, that makes sense now. And then I had to like kind of say, well, how do I explain that? How do I put that in terms to somebody that's in this kind of like emotional state? So then they gave me the words and the information. I felt them come through, of how I can kind of like type it out. So I asked them if they want me to do a video on it, and they said, well, you can if you want. It might help other people in the future. So I have got a video coming out on the channel about when people think that Reiki's gone wrong, or it's had a negative effect, or or maybe they don't believe in Reiki, or think it's evil or demonic and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, so that's coming out, like I say, in a few weeks' time. So it's quite an interesting thing to talk about, an interesting concept. So yeah, but you do get a lot of people that kind of like just don't understand Reiki, and straight away, because they don't understand it, they badmouth it, and it's like anything, it's like people that are a bit different in life. Straight away, people point fun at them, or they call them this, or they say that, because they don't understand them. And it's all to many videos on this channel, that I talked about, and quite recently as well. This perception that people have of things can create so much deception in their own life, and they're just not open to accept it. Um, yeah, it might actually, yeah, that might help your sister. That's a really good point. Yeah, well, when it comes out, I'll send it to you so you can kind of like forward it to her, and maybe she can watch it. It might give her some confidence to come and have some Reiki with you. It'd be good for you to practice on someone else. There's only two people in, but if you give me a thumbs up and give me some love as well, if you can, that would be really, really good, because it helps with the algorithm. So give us a couple of thumbs up, and if there's like a love heart thing on here, I'm not sure if there is on here, but there is in the laptop version. Just to give us some love, and it'll help me get seen. If not, just give me a bing, a thumbs up. It might bring more people onto the live to join in. But I don't mind having just one or two people. It's all cool. It's all gravy at the end of the day. Just nice just to do what I love doing, which is a bit of artwork or a bit of music or whatever it might be, and then just chat about whatever. think YouTube seems to be getting like quieter and quieter. It seems to be. I think a lot of people are going to TikTok because it's easier to get views on TikTok. It seems to be easier to get views. But then when you go into your analytics, the views are a bit false, really, because people don't watch the full video. Yeah, you get a view, but they're not staying for the full video. And it's the same on YouTube, like especially with the shorts. You know, they might click on and they might say, "Oh, you got like 1,000 views or whatever," but 96% of them have scrolled away. So it's quite difficult to keep the momentum going with. And there's that many different platforms now to do videos on. You know, you got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got you can go live. You can do the lives on Instagram, you can do lives on Facebook. You can go on Rumble, you can go on BitChute, you can go on all them other ones. You can go on Telegram. I mean, it's just endless. You're like, well, where does it end, really? So that's why I tend to try and stick to. I'm trying to stick to YouTube mainly, and then Ivan Ishka. Nice to see you again. I hope you're well. But yeah, that's why I tend to stick to YouTube for longer form videos rather than TikTok. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm trying. I've made an edit to this one because this has been sat on this frame on this easel for probably over a year in the background, and it had these little ferns on right in the front there and there, and I wasn't really happy with them because they weren't very detailed and they didn't look very good and looked a bit naff really. So I thought I'm going to have to do something with it. So I thought, you know what, I'll just stick some bushes over them. So that's what I've done, just to block it out and create a bit better perspective, a bit of depth in the picture. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm really good, thank you. It's nice to actually sit down and do a bit of painting, which I've not really done for a while. It's been long overdue, definitely long overdue. So now I'm going to try. Where's my brush gone? And I really fancy doing a space scene. So I was mulling the other day about how would I do a space scene, because I want to do all these planets, different planets, and obviously stars and things like that. And I think, well, I've got all the black, like, or the dark blue, the inky dark blue for space in the background. So I'm visualizing in my head how I want it, which is a really, really good way to develop your third eye, actually. So I'm visualizing in my head what it should look like, and the colors of the planets, you know, like maybe Jupiter and Saturn and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, well, if the background's black and I'm trying to paint over the top, it's going to be really, really difficult to get the vividness of the colors of the planets shining through. But then I thought what I could do is like sort of get something round, like a jar or a CD or something like that, and then do like a rough sort of few colors for the planets. Put the round thing over the top over the various colors, and then go over it with the dark color, and that should bring the vividness through from the planets. And then I can just put stars on and things like that. So that's what I've been umming and ahhing with lately, and just thinking about and just cogitating over. I'd love to do like a space scene, or actually, I've got some ready painted black canvases. Never thought of that. And they have metallic paint with them as well. That's an idea. I could just use them. So we're going to put a little bit of this bright red, just a little zing Maybe like berries or something like that on the bush. Just to make it stand out a little bit. Not too many, just a few here and there. I don't want to go nuts with them. Maybe a few just at the top. Yeah, it's quite nice. If I do say so myself, just put a little bit more on this side, just to try and balance it out a little bit. It could be like red flowers or berries, whatever. Mm. Yeah. So what have you been up to today? Whoever's in the room, whoever's left, what you've been up to, what you're doing. I'm not sure who's in. Is it Vanishka, Sonia, Yvonne? I'm not sure who's left. There's only one person in, I know that. But thanks for the thumbs up. You've given me some thumbs up, so that's really kind. Thank you. Do-do. 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 People keep like coming and going and grounding and did a good shop. A big shop, eh? A Saturday big shop. Where did you go? Do your shopping? You still go to Morrison's? I don't hardly ever go in Morrison's now. Too expensive. Little, yeah, that's where I go. Not wrong with them, you know. They're a really good shop, and they have some really good products. Even they're getting quite expensive now, though. Some of the stuff that they sell, but it's nothing in comparison compared to the likes of Morrison's and Sainsbury's and what have you. Some of them are just some stores you go in now, and you just think, how on earth are you still going? Because the way things are economically, with absolute madness. Absolute madness. Cricket stuff discount. What a little. I thought you worked for Aldi. I thought it was Aldi warehouse, not Lidl. Do do do. I think I need a bird in the sky. What do you think? Like in the distance, just like one little bird. Do like a generic bird, like a little. Is where you say, don't balls it up, Ian. You need a really, really fine brush. Hey! Oh, I'm gonna have to put another one with him. I don't want him to be on his own. There we go. What do you think? Can you see them? Can you see the birds that I've put in? Like probably like really tiny on the thing. Oh look. I'm gonna flip the camera around. There. Put your glasses on. There they are. Just in that cloud there. So that's what I've been working on. So obviously they're a little bit closer in for you. So there's little red flowers, white flowers, whatever you want them to be, really. It's not like massively detailed, but I never really work massively detailed. I like it to be kind of a little bit rustic and a little bit rough and ready. Because that's kind of like how nature is. It's nature isn't perfect. You know, nature is rough and ready. Like look at some of these crystals over here; they're like rough and ready. Like some of the natural forms, you know, and yeah. So, oh, thank you, Sonia. Yeah. So I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go. I might start a new piece. I might maybe go over on the TikTok. Let's see. I'll see. Start a new piece over there. I really fancy doing like an ocean wave, like a big wave, like a big crashing wave with lots of like blue and deep blue and dark colors and stuff. So we'll see. And again, it's in my mind. I've got it like in here, so I just need to bring it out and put it onto canvas. But thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Toodaloo for now. Bye bye.